So in August 2012 I came to Dove Cottage for a 2-week residency, and the residency had a dual purpose. I was here to do some archival research looking at manuscript holdings you have in the Coleridge family collection. I was looking at the letters of Sarah and Hartley Coleridge. But I also came here to think about public engagement, to shadow the curators and the archivists and get an understanding of what a place like Dove Cottage does and what kind of opportunities there might be for postgraduate researchers here. I think probably the most important experience that I took away from my time here was I was able to sit in on a meeting between the curators and some of the archival staff and a group of local history enthusiasts, I guess, who were working with members of the Trust to put on an exhibition. And I suppose I had some preconceptions about what public engagement is and what its benefit is. And what I realised is that actually when it's done right and when the entire community is buying into a project, as they so obviously were, it can be enormously beneficial. This exhibition which the group were putting on, which they were completely in control of and were designing themselves, it wasn't for them just an opportunity to reveal some local history. They were thinking about how putting on this exhibition could be used to bridge some very kind of deep gulfs in the local community. For them, they saw exploring their own history with the Trust's help as a way to build bridges, and I found that quite moving actually, and it was a very, very profound and important experience for me, which I've taken back into my own public engagement work subsequently.
I think I remember you saying that you now understood what the word impact meant. I think you'd have a slightly sceptical view of the concept, but this was it, wasn't it, in real life?
Well, we're told a lot now about the importance of impact and the importance of public engagement, often in quite an abstract way, and I think a lot of postgraduate researchers might not know what it means, or indeed, like me, they might have a somewhat sceptical attitude towards it. And this made me realise that it can actually affect real change within a community.
One of the great things about having you there was that it helped explain to the local community here what goes on in this building, because you know from the outside that it can be kind of a mystery to many people, that this fortress-like building, and so for them to come and to meet someone like yourself who does academic research, for some people you might have been their first academic, as it were.
The Trust acts as a kind of a hub or a bridge in a lot of ways, I think, which is really useful. And I think also it helps us as researchers, particularly as postgraduates, to think about the wider applications of our research, even if we do intend to go on and pursue academic careers. One of the things that I found very interesting here is it made me think about different ways in which I might make use of my research, that it didn't necessarily, for example, have to take the form of a monograph or a scholarly article, that there are lots of different ways of disseminating and representing your research, and they can be extremely creative.
It's important to emphasise the importance of scholarship in what we do, because although at say an exhibition level or an outreach programme level, the kind of thing talked about wouldn't be in academic language, without the scholarly engine house in the background, where would we get our ideas from? All that I pass on to visitors and all that I pass on to other students, I have learned from people like yourself. So you are the engine house to all that the museum does. You and the collection together.